Okay, so we are going into Mercury retrograde tomorrow. I kind of knew that we were, but I didn't until after my mishap with one of my videos that I'm still uploading. So today I had three, maybe four different clients that sent me books about their despair, things that they're going through. And I don't know how to address it. So I'm not going to address it. So what I created was, because I have my Patreon, and I'm going to send this to my clients, and especially all the ones in despair. And I am going to add this to my classes too, because I feel like everybody should take advantage of this energy and do some shadow work, because that's why you're going through the stuff that you're going through. We all go through it. We all go through it. It doesn't last. It feels dire when we're in the situations, but it doesn't last. It never lasts. And I think that is what we need to see as the reality, the truth. That this is a weather. This is an astrological event. This is a chapter in your life. You know, sometimes it feels very long because chapters last. I had a chapter that lasted 7 years. And that's why I'm very adamant on my lifestyle and my situation, so I never repeat that. And sometimes chapters have to last 7 years, because the whole point of us being here in this world is to ascend. I think it's super funny that people think they have to be martyrs, that they have to be victims, that they have to allow other people to treat them like shit, and that they're going to go to heaven, or they're going to go to this wonderful world after they left here. I'm going to break it to you what's going to happen. Through all of my research, all of my study, channeling with the greats, because I have talked to the other world. I have gone to the in-between astrologically, astral spiritual, I don't know how you call that, is when you come out of your body and you kind of walk to different realms. And they showed me how some people are still living in their I came across an elderly woman and her daughter living in this really tiny apartment, and in that world that's spiritual, the daughter was still working 2 jobs to take care for her family. The grandmother was still ill, and they lived in this teeny tiny apartment. You have to ascend. And that's something that I'm teaching in my wealth class. I'm teaching it in the new magical class, is how to be born again, is how to re-script your days. So I sat down with Spirit to create shadow work for this vibration and energy. And this is to help you release all those, frequencies, energies, toxins. Because when you have that inside of you, your DNA is also cluttered. And then you can't manifest, because you're not activated. You're not aligned with a proper frequency. As a matter of fact, today I'm doing major cleansing and healing on my daughter, because she's been going through her own kind of health madness for the last months. So we all go through this. I share this stuff with you, and I go through very personal experiences. Everybody's going through this. I told you my oldest son is going through this chaos right now. So there's a lot going on. So I love this one. I already did this one. And take the paper clip off. So I'm gonna share with you this. The whole point of this is just to flow. You'll notice something. So it says, how would your friends and family describe you? Now, I added my friends, I added my family, but I also added you guys, because I work a lot more with you guys than per se friends. I really don't associate myself with a lot of people. I said, I was La Mona as a child. La Mona means monkey, because I had so much energy and loved to always be climbing trees. You can say I have always been a tree hugger. The freedom I felt when I climbed trees was stupendous. I would push my limits to how high I could climb. I was fearless. I don't even know what I wrote though. I have many names and descriptums depending on who you ask. I am La Guerrera for my Cuban family from Cuba because I say it as it comes. I do not hold back. If I have to express to you something, I will, and I will not apologize if I know I am right. To my clients, it all depends. To some, especially my bestie client Diane, I am the fairy godmother, super manifesting on their behalf, making sure their altars are bright, strong, and energized. To other clients, I am a mystic with connection to the divine himself. Family sees me like this as well. They call me, they text me, they message me to help someone in need. They claim I have even brought family members out of comas and disease. To others, I am me, funny, fun, a bit ditzy, bright, flowery, flamboyant. I am out there. I share who I am. I dress how I want, and I will shine bright because light am I, light I am. You want to see yourself through the eyes of others, but in a positive way. And I know, and this is shadow work, and I felt as it all poured out that it was very positive. Because that's how I see me through the eyes of others. That's how I see me when they message me on how I helped them manifest, on how my Cuban family had a situation with one of the cousins that was being an ass, and I called her up and put her to her place. So you're going to have names. You're going to have titles. But it is how you allow those titles to reflect over you. It is how you allow other people's descriptions of you influence your vibration and your energy. For where I stand, I am light, and light I am, because that is my purpose. And when I live in this purpose, when I live in this reality, and I have problems just like you. Like I said, I have 2 situations right now, maybe even 3 that are not cool. If you saw my live, if you're watching this and you're part of my wealth course and you saw my live, I told you that one of the signs and confirmations that I got, it was death. And I don't know who that might or might not be. So the point is to reflect on your now moment and not allow it to drain you, especially others' vision of you. If you are around people that see you in negativity, then they do not deserve to be around you. And then that is why you're doing this. So you could decide, is it worth it being where I am? Is it worth for me to have this coworker, this partner, this friend, whatever your case scenario is? I had one of my clients has been in this dire situation with her husband for 2 or 3 years now. And it seemed like it was going to get better, but they're not living together. They haven't lived together for months and months now. And she disappeared for a little while. And I guess I didn't even know she was part of my email. So she got the email where I said that I had these readings for $20-something. And she got one, and I did, which is super crazy because here I'm doing a $70 reading for $20-something, because sometimes Spirit will tell me, Daisy, that $20 reading is not going to help her. She needs a sacred cross. But she's a good client. She's always, supported me. So when Spirit says like that, I do it, So you could say I lost money, but like I said, she's a good client. And when Spirit says do this, you do it. So I sent her her reading and exactly what she felt, but she didn't want to realize it. You're always hoping, and I feel like that's why we sometimes get readings, because we're always hoping that what we feel is not it, that there's another door, there's another option, there's another way. But Spirit was very adamant and expressed to her way out. And of course, she messaged me again with another question, and I haven't messaged her back because I need her. Sometimes I won't message you so you could find your own way. Sometimes I'm very busy. Because the point is, if you're my on call, I message you right away because you're paying a hefty price and I'm doing that service to you because that's what you're paying for. You want to vent, you want to purge, you want to talk, you want to text, and that's why you have my personal mess. But if you're a client that's, going through my courses or my classes or got a reading or, I have to allow you to find your place, your way, because I can't message every single person because then I wouldn't have time to do the work I do. But sometimes, and I think it's crazy, what happens is when clients, I let them kind of look at their own, what they wrote, what they're going through. And I give them a day. The next day, they come out of it. Sometimes it takes them a little while, and sometimes I have to message them, some inspiration or some guidance or a printable like I'm creating today. Because I felt like when there's 5 people messaging you that their life is a mess, something's frequency is up, right? And as I'm creating this, we are in Mercury retrograde shadow because it starts tonight. We'll also have eclipses, super new moon energy, Beltane. So there's a lot of cosmic energy happening. So when that happens, you're being pulled in every different direction because you're being pushed to make the decisions to create the changes that you need to live in your life. And sometimes we don't want those changes because we're used to our husbands, our wives, our living with our parents or living with your roommate or that job that you've had for the last 5 years. Even though they treat you like ass, you feel like there's no other job or there's no other way because you don't see it. I have a client that bought a candle from me. Every 2 or 3 days, she messages me. I think I'm saying the name wrong, Daisy. No, you're saying it right. Just relax, just allow. It's not about the name. It's not about saying the name. It's about looking and gazing upon the divine energy. That's the power. And then she'll message me again a week later. Oh no, I don't know. I think I'm saying it wrong. So some people, they become imprisoned to their own hamster wheel. They get on top of this wheel and they just go. And sometimes it's fun. If you look at hamsters, sometimes they're very giddy and excited and happy about their hamster wheel. But as a human, we are expanding and growing. We're not the content fat hamster that just wants to enjoy his short life in a very lush place. No, we want to learn. We want to travel. We want to grow. So you have to ask yourself the questions. How do people look at you? How would your friends and family describe you? And that description, this is why shadow work is so powerful, because you connect with your higher self, and your higher self through you gives you light. Because if you're around someone that's constantly telling you you're fat or you're ugly or you're not enough, then they do not deserve you. So then the question is, why are you there? Why are you working so hard on something that is not fulfilling you, that is so negative and toxic? So you have to really, really balance and weigh and judge. Be the judge of your life. Now the next one, because it gets deep in this work. If today you would start writing your memoir, what would the title of the first 5 chapters be? And I'm gonna have fun with this one. Now this one's a little personal, that's why I didn't write it here. But I think like the first chapter would be something like my creative, witchy lifestyle. because I feel like I've bended a lot of laws in my spiritual career, like looking at all the side hustles that I have through my spiritual career, looking like, I think it's so crazy because I'm out there. I'm not afraid of how people see me. I'm not embarrassed of who I am. And I do have people around me, even that they love me, but they're embarrassed sometimes of friends coming over, or, and it's fine because that's in the place that they are. They're still hiding themselves from the world or whatever. So, and then it says, state one verb describing you in each of those chapters. Okay, so what would verbs be that describe me? So I put spiritual, a writer, an author, an optimist, a lover. Because I should have been put lover first, because I love all. I love nature, especially. I love my work. I love anything and everything that comes to me in this beautiful high vibrational, my lifestyle, especially my utmost love is spending time with my family. Being able to, right now, like this cosmic challenge, it's unraveling it, deciphering it, finding the solutions at the utmost outcomes to help everyone that's involved in the situation. So that's what feels so good. That's what feels so radiant. So take your time with this. You don't have to do it all in one sitting, even though that I am going to use this Mercury retrograde and new moon energy to do this, especially that right now we're in the dark moon. What do people around you look like? How do they act? What beliefs do they hold? How do they treat you? Now this one talks about the people that surround you, and you're going to flow with the questions, but then you're going to also look at how they treat you. And then this is where, if you look at the shadow work, it's almost about you being very honest with yourself and your surroundings. Because the reason you are in this dire need shift that is so desperately needed is because you have people around you that are not compatible with your vibration and energy. Excuse in the background because I just did a major healing on someone, so there you could still hear the meditation that I left them with after the healing. So when you are in that energy, in that vibration, because of someone doing something, because usually it's someone doing something to you. Someone did something, there was some kind of trauma, you're not happy in your relationship, you're not happy in your job, you're not happy in your home, you're not happy in your state, in your country, like there's some form of unhappiness. So this is a great way for you to see not so much like where you're living, but more so who's around you. And this could be your kids, could be someone, really could be your parents. So take your time with this one, and if you need extra paper, just turn it around, grab a regular sheet of paper, but you want to be as honest and as thorough with this one. If you could share your deepest secret with the world, but remain anonymous, what would that secret be? Allow what flows to you. Allow the emotions you feel to pour over the page. Now, I found that this question was really powerful because I'm very open. I really don't have secrets. What you see is what you get. I actually tell people sometimes my deepest, darkest secrets because I don't see them as in being a secret. Because if I made a mistake because I did something in life, I will share that. My kids. As a matter of fact, me and one of my cousins were really, really close. And, it freaked her out that my kids knew everything about me. Everything. Things that I did when I was young. How I used to love to party and dance, and how, what else did I do? What was the craziest thing that I did? I was very sexy. I used to love to go out to dances and parties, and I used to go out very sexy, and my kids are all aware of all that. I didn't hide nothing. I have pictures of me having fun and enjoying life. And on her side, she wanted to, which I understand, because her, she wants her kids to have a different lifestyle. And so it's not a disrespect, but it's very hard for her to be herself and share what she likes to do and who she wants to be, because she doesn't want her kids to think, well, if mom does it, I'm going to do it too, So I totally get that you want to shield your kids from maybe some dark chapters of your life, or some addictions that you might have, or, I don't want my kids to, per se, everybody smokes pot nowadays. So you don't want the kids to fall into that because everybody else is doing it, So if you could share your deepest, darkest secret, but remain anonymous, what would that secret be? And if you want, since it's your deepest, darkest secret, after you're done, just like the book, burn after you read. So I would share my deepest, darkest secret just to release that. Forgive yourself for it. And that's what born again is you killing the old self, putting it to rest. And I know that sounds harsh and strong, but you have to put to bed the old self. And if you have a secret that's eating you up inside, this is a great way, especially during the shadow work, for you to write it down, reread it, feel that release, feel as this deep, dark secret just leaves your life. And then burn this in a fire safe container. I would, fold the paper up, put it on a metal tin, preferably outside, and then throw the ashes over the land. Just completely release this. This is a perfect time to do this. The last time you felt genuinely peaceful. And then this is, if you notice, we go in from dark, dark, dark to finding a middle ground. Because shadow work is not about all the darkness. It's also about coming into that tranquility. So in this one, I say, the last time you felt genuinely peaceful, where were you? And think about this. I remember the last time, and it wasn't about peace, it was like super happiness, was during the Christmas holiday. It was wonderful. I was with all of my family, all my kids, all my grandkids. We were enjoying the best Christmas ever. A very simple Christmas. Very humble Christmas, but the very best Christmas. We enjoyed every day for a whole week together. It was so much fun. What were you doing? Can you see what you were wearing and describe it? I was wearing my funny Santa sweater because it was nice and it was chilly. It was beautiful weather, beautiful, perfect Christmas weather. And my daughter also got me some Yoda soft pants, which made a mess everywhere because they had this little fabric that would fall everywhere. And I was scared of washing them because I thought that was going to get on everything. We laughed about everything. And it was just so much fun. So much fun. How do you recapture that day of peace and tranquility? If you could reclaim that energy, how would you do this? I reclaim that energy every day, because every day when I do my scripting visually, I see myself with my family having fun. I see myself in like I've shared in my wealth class. If you're not part of the wealth class, you are missing out on massive, massive lessons that we all, including myself, because I do it myself, interact with, and just really living in your bliss. And not allowing others to take that bliss away. Because if someone's unhappy in your life, it is not your fault. They could blame you for it. They could say it's your fault because maybe you did something. But the truth is, it's their fault. It is their fault. They're in misery. It is not your fault. No matter what it is that you feel that you did to put them in that misery. They attracted that to themselves. They did it to themselves. So you need to stop blaming yourself for causing chaos in other people's lives, for feeling like you caused somebody else misery, for feeling that you weren't the most best parent. They chose the outcome. Forgive them. Forgive yourself for whatever you feel that you did, and forgive them for blaming you. And you could even write about that situation. You could even write them a letter expressing how you feel, how you felt, how this blame made you feel, and sending them love and forgiveness. And then forgiving yourself for thinking that it was all your fault. I hope this brings a lot of results, a lot of epiphanies, a lot of aha moments, so you could realize that you are in control of your life. So you could realize that you are the co-creator. Namaste.